Let's talk about it with us right now. Maybe tears or laughs out loud. Let's make a difference as we speak through conversation for our future and future generations. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about
it. We feel so very honored to have Miss Brandy Be Love. If you're not following her on TikTok, make sure you are. Find her on all the places. She is a musician, and she's here to share her story and her experience when it comes to being in a relationship with a narcissist. And we are so appreciative that you're here. So thank you so much, Miss Brandy.
Thank you for having me.
So we know that it's pretty common to kind of experience someone that may have narcissistic tendencies, but more and more we're starting to hear about, women experiencing a narcissistic in a relationship. And it's a striking thing to see from the outside looking in, but then also for someone who's truly experiencing it. I haven't had an experience with a narcissistic in a kind of relationship like that, but I know people who have, and I never tell their story, but it's striking, it's scary because you don't always know what length that person will go to. And with your video, you had a very striking thought on why. So we're gonna play that.
Okay. That men that choose to be abusive towards women, men that like to argue with women, men that like to belittle women and battle with women, beat on women. I hit all the bases. I think I did. Basically, those men that choose to consciously make a decision to do that, I am starting to truly believe that they are down low. I'm starting to truly believe that there is a deep-rooted envy, hatred towards women. Why else would you do that? And I'm serious when I ask that. Why else would you be disrespectful to a woman and not hold yourself accountable? Yes, everybody is human. Yes, everybody gets angry. Yes, everybody has issues that they're dealing with. But unhealed men that consciously make a decision to abuse women, be disrespectful towards women, I'm starting to really see they have deep-rooted mommy issues. They have some type of hatred towards a woman that hurt them in their childhood. Debate me if you want. But I really feel like that's the deep root as to why you choose to be disrespectful and abuse women. Because if you truly love, honor, and respect women, why would you get out of line with them in public or behind closed doors? Doesn't matter. In a relationship or a friendship or just being cordial. Like, why would you be disrespectful to a woman? Like I said, it has to be a deep root of pain. It has to be some type of envy or something there that makes you feel confident and comfortable, enjoying being disrespectful, not feeling remorse for what you've done to a woman, being disrespectful, being abusive. I'm not saying all, but I'm saying a lot of you guys out there that choose to be disrespectful, yeah, I'm going to call it secretly down low. Secretly down low. It's too many red flags I'm seeing. Too many red flags. It's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But the I's are being dotted and the T's are being crossed. Yeah, you're telling on yourself. You're down low. Get help. Heal. Do something. and stop abusing women, because that shit is lame. In this day and time, for you to choose to want to do somebody, whether it's woman, man, don't matter. You choose to do some harm to somebody. You consciously choose to be mean, rude, disrespectful to that person, and they did nothing to you. I just don't have no respect. I don't have no love, no nothing. Like, yeah. And especially with men, I'm starting to look at it like, you're down low. You're fighting a battle that you think nobody knows. You're fighting a battle that you're trying to mask so hard with masculinity. You're fighting a battle that you're trying to prove that you're a man. And you are a man. You just like to have sex with other men secretly. And I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just looking at different men that are abusive and their characteristics and a lot of the red flags that they be waving around. And like I said, if you choose to get out of line and disrespectful with a woman, now if she's been disrespectful to you and you reached your limit, that's different. But like I said, there is a lot of men in this day and time that choose to just jump off and get out and out disrespectful to that woman. Hell, it's men in relationships that once they have that woman in a relationship, they feel comfortable to just be abusive. And some of them actually get joy out of being abusive towards women. And those are the ones that I'm talking about. The ones that don't hold remorse. The ones that don't hold themselves accountable. You know, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm saying it. Yeah. Sorry, not sorry. That's just how I'm feeling right now. I'm looking at a lot of people differently. I'm looking at a lot of things differently. And when you choose to be disrespectful to a woman, you choose to be abusive to a woman, there's some deep-rooted hurt with you, period. Whether you're down low or not, there's some deep-rooted pain in you to make you feel comfortable to go outside and do that, especially when you have children or you have daughters and you out here doing this shit to women. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's just how I feel. Tell me what you feel. Tell me what your thoughts on that. Because I'm telling you, leave it in the comments. I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, a guy that is extremely abusive, in a relationship or not, he's down low. That's just my thoughts, but I'd like to know what your thoughts are too. Yeah, and I stand on that.
Ooh, girl. Tell our audience and our listeners a little bit more about your experience. I thought it was very compelling.
Okay, well, with my personal experience with a narcissist,
Yeah.
that's going way back to my childhood. The narcissist that I experienced was when I was 9 years old. We were like phone boyfriend and girlfriend on the phone for a while, right? And then over a year, we met each other during summer break. So I went to my grandmom's house. I met him in a park, and he destroyed me. He broke my heart. He told me I was fat, I was ugly, and I hated him from that. My sister and I, we beat him and his brothers up at the park that day. And for like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, I hated him. Anything I heard about him, I hated him. I didn't want to hear nothing about him. And he just kept coming around. He's a musician. I'm a musician. My family is full of musicians. So even when I tried to escape him, he was practicing and learning things from my family on both sides because they all play woodwind. I'm trying not to give him too much power, so bear with me with how I say what I say. But from childhood, he hurt me. He broke my heart. And in adulthood, he found me and he made all these grand promises. And I mean, I know I broke your heart when we were kids. I know I did this. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You never gave me a chance to really prove myself. Only for me to be forgiven, only for me to let him back in. And he did the ultimate. He literally tried to break my complete spirit. Everything. And it wasn't with his fist. I mean, he tried that one time and I kicked his ass. Sorry, I don't know what I can say, but
Go for it. Don't hold back.
he did try that one time And he seen that and he got kind of scared. And anytime I did kind of get physical, he was quick to try to yell at one of my family members for training me because I do train. That's another story, another time. But I do train in martial arts, boxing, and I'm very athletic. I try to stay active, which he had a problem with. But the ultimate things that he did to try to break me, and the best way that I can explain it is after we got married in 2010. And the first 2 years I was taking care of my grandmother. And my grandmother knew I wanted a baby. And before my grandmom died, she told me, when I get to God, I'm going to tell him you want a baby. 6 months after my grandmom died, I found out I was pregnant. So I was excited. But 7 days later, I'm rushed to the hospital and I almost died and I lost my baby. Yeah. I had an ectopic pregnancy. And in the hospital, my tube had ruptured. And the surgery, normally they said would take anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours. It took almost 4.5 hours for them to work on me. Yeah. I almost died. So that was traumatic in itself. But coming home and trying to heal, I was woke out of my sleep by his in my mouth.
No.
He was choking me. He was trying to shove his down my throat. And he said, well, and because I woke up like choking, saying, what are you doing? And he said, well, that stuff don't work down there. You ain't got nothing working down there. So you might as well do this. You don't want me cheating on you, do you? That was the beginning of my nightmare. That was the beginning of my nightmare. And it was slowly degrading things like the verbal abuse. After my grandmother passed, I tried to start working again. I tried to work up to 3 jobs at one time to try to show and prove that I can help provide. Nothing I did was good enough. I was broken apart of everything that could be a woman. My nails. I grow nails like my grandmother. He used to pick apart anything that made me a woman. He picked it apart to a point where I felt like saying, well, I did at times. I would say, do you want a woman or do you want a man? Because what you're saying and how you're picking me apart is making me feel like you want a man. I can't be this hard. Being this hard is getting on my nerves. I'm working 3 jobs. I'm coming home. I'm cooking. I'm cleaning. And you want me to be a star. And if I'm not a star, you take it anyway. This man knew all my traumas as a child. I explained everything to him. And after I lost our child and almost died, this man literally tried to break me apart. And it took a while for me to realize what he was doing, but that's what he was doing. He was literally trying to break me from the top of my head to the soles of my feet. My whole spirit. He got joy out of making me cry. And I used to drive myself crazy asking, like, am I tripping? Because, okay, for instance, one main thing when you're with a narcissist is your birthday is going to be jacked up. The first birthday is the best birthday you're ever going to get when you're messing with a narcissist. After that, it is hell. On down till you decide to leave us sorry behind. Every birthday was a nightmare. It was always something jacked up happening, something. Well, one year, my sister knows I love Bob Marley. My sister bought me a beautiful Bob Marley mug. 3 weeks later, that mug is broken mysteriously. Little meticulous things that normal other people would be like, that's nothing. But when you I'm a Virgo, you start making lists up about all the stuff and it starts to add up and you start sitting there to yourself crying. Think about it. Okay. And I started doing calculations. Okay, we made it 3 months without no hiccup. Let me see if he gonna act stupid. Let me see. 3 months came, guess what? He acted stupid. Something just wasn't right. And then it would fluctuate from 3 months to 3 weeks, 3 days to 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months. It's a cycle. It's all in a cycle. And they have their patterns on how they're going to manipulate. If you stick in the game, you'll go through every single cycle, every single, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting. It's extremely exhausting. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean to babble, but when you tell me to let something out,
let it go.
that was hell and back. And I truly love this man. Mind you, I've loved that man since I was a kid. And I gave him another chance in adulthood. And I had my guards up in the beginning and I let him down. And he came in with the fangs and the venom. And I'm still paying the price. 3 years later, I'm still paying the price.
So, when you're exiting a relationship like that, it can feel as if people can look from the outside looking in and not really understand what that looks like. And I think that you have painted a real image of what it looks like from someone who's experiencing it. I think it's really important for people to hear this, because if you have never experienced this, this is what it looks like. And it can be on different, varying degrees. But I'm sorry, but that was abusive.
And then they say, well, you're my wife, you're supposed to give it. I mean, when I lost my child, that grape continued, and the longer I stayed, the worse it got, the longer it got. It's times I wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh God, just shut up. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Then there's moments I wake up in the morning and I'll be like, did you do something? I told you I didn't want to do anything. He's like, you would sleep anyway. It's all right. I had to. I couldn't help myself. Like, and you know that it's a problem. You know that it's a trigger for me. You know that it's fucking my head up. And you getting a kick out of doing that shit to me day and night, night and day. I'm crazy for wanting to kick your ass. I'm crazy.
Hell no. Sorry.
I'm crazy.
No.
Oh, that's not abuse. Oh, I have to say this since this is going to get recorded to the new supply, honey. Just saddle up and buckle up, Buttercup. Because, yeah, you don't think that this nigga abused me? Buckle up. You're going to see in a minute exactly why I left.
That part.
I was going to ask you, in all honesty, what was the final push? The final, what was what led up until, what really forced your hand or made you?
Because I realized
say enough.
He tried to violate me for the last time. It was September 23rd, 2022. It was in the wee hours of that morning. It was like 1 something in that morning. And he tried to violate me for the last time because, mind you, our anniversary was August 14th. He me on August 14th that year of 2022 on our anniversary of our wedding. And that night on September 23rd, I just couldn't take it no more. And he woke me up to let me know what he was doing. He was like, do you consider this rape? And he was already like in the mix of doing what he was doing. But he woke me up to let me know that that's what he was doing. And I told him, yes, this is bothering me. Get the fuck off me. He left. He stayed away that whole day. And I got down on my knees and I yelled to God, please get me out of this. I called on my ancestors. I called on my grandmom, both my grandmoms, and I called on my aunt that had recently passed. I said, y'all got to get me out of this. I said, I know y'all said stay married forever. I said, but I can't live with this. I'm going to kill this motherfucker today. I can't take this no more. And I laid down at my altar. I laid there and I cried. And I heard a voice say, when he come back, say everything that you got to say to him because he will never return. And that's what happened. He came home that night. He tried to make a little this, that he didn't expect me to say, pack your shit and get gone. Showed up the next day with some officers. I told the cops exactly what was going on. They said, oh, we're here for you. Don't worry about him. What you want? Change the locks, give the keys, this, that. And then I talked to other people and I ended up getting a lifetime. I have to put this on tape. In Delaware, it's very rare to get a PFA for life. The court system of Wilmington, Delaware gave me a lifetime PFA from that man, from that monster, from that douchebag, from that son of a bitch. Yes, I'm saying it all on tape. They gave me a PFA for life from his aid.
Whoa.
And he did not expect that to happen at all.
When this happened, did you press charges when you got the
No, I
protective
did
order?
not.
Or you okay?
No, I
No
did not.
judgment. Okay, no judgment.
I mean, I did not. I should have. I mean, I had every right to, but I care about the boys that I helped raise, my sons that I birthed from my heart. I helped him raise two sons that I didn't birth from my womb. I birthed them from my heart, and I still claim them to this day. Because I helped raise them boys, and they love me like a bonus mom. I never try to say you call me mom, I'm your mom. No, I just filled the void because there's times in their life that they needed somebody to nurture them and to love them without any fake bullshit, and that's what I'm here for. And it's still like that to this day. Just fuck their dad. I'm sorry, but yeah, fuck him. But the love never changed for my boys. But
so the catalyst was that moment. What has it been like as you've kind of transitioned away from being with someone like that? Because there's this period in between, and I don't know how you can ever really recover from something like this because it's seems very, very traumatic.
I'm gonna say this: you have your good days, you have your bad days. You have to deal with people, and once you see who they really are, you have to navigate as such. Once you've gotten a taste of a narcissist, you can smell it a mile away, and you have to navigate and deal with them as such because you can't just get PFAs and stuff on people everywhere. But once you know those characteristics, once you know those red flags, those signs, you deal with, especially at work or church, wherever you go, you deal with them accordingly and then skedaddle.
So it's easier to set like boundaries faster because you see it faster.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
When you say that it is easy now for you to recognize those signs, what would those signs like? Can you share some of those signs that maybe you did not recognize at the time, but now you know, hey, I know what this is. This is very familiar. So I know, hey, yeah, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? What are some of those signs?
Especially with dating, pay attention to how he talks about people that's closest to him. Pay very close attention on how he talks about people that are like directly underneath him. And pay attention to the relationship he has with his mom. Because I thought because he did things for his mom that it was a loving relationship. If a guy tells you very early in the talking stages about something that his mom did to hurt him, and I'm talking very early, anywhere from 2 to 3 months of dating this guy, if he starts telling you stories about his mom, especially in childhood, oh, my mom, she left me at the mall one time and they didn't come get me, told me I had to walk home. Oh, my mom did this, or my mom. I'm not saying it's terrible, but red flag. That's a definite red flag. If he starts letting you know that his mom hurt him, he's letting you know, bitch, you next. Excuse my French, but yeah, you next. You next. Because when he starts telling you about that, he's letting you know I'm scorned. I'm scorned. My mama hurt me when I was a kid. And I ain't like that. But she my mama. And I ain't got balls to tell my mama that she hurt me. So I'm gonna hurt every female
Mm,
that come into my life,
mm.
especially if they remind me of my mama. Oh, that's another thing. If he tell you you remind him of his mama, pay very close attention.
Is that
Oh,
the
you
sign to
strong like
run?
my mom. You strong like my mom.
Oof.
Pay attention to that, fool. Pay attention to that. Pay attention.
It's funny
Especially
because,
if they say they admire your strength.
huh?
Narcissists love strong women because they want to see how much they can beat them down. And I ain't even talking about physical. I'm talking about mentally, spiritually. They narcissists can make the most holiest woman forget who her God is. That's narcissist. It is a spiritual warfare.
Mm, that
People
part.
think that I thought I was a tough girl.
That part.
And I could change somebody. I could love. I could love.
Mm,
Let me tell you something. Love can't deal with demons. Love, that ain't enough to deal with demons. Because that's what a narcissist is. That's a whole demon. And when you see them hovering over you at night with the black cold eyes, that's real. And that's scary as hell.
Jesus.
I, that's something. If you've experienced a narcissist, a real narcissist, yeah.
That's a lot. Oof. If you're okay with my asking,
Go ahead.
you've been called to share your story for other people who have experienced this. Is this like some sort of support group or something like that that's kind of working?
Um, I have, well, not technical support group. It's just people in general that I come in contact with. Um, I'm in the making of trying to network with other support groups, but I just talk to people.
Dare I say you should start your own?
I mean, I want to help as many people as I can because once the light bulb went off in my head, I said I gotta help my sisters out because I'm starting to see so many people like that I looked up to, like my elders, they were with narcissists.
Mm.
The relationships of the elders that we were supposed to look up to. And you looking and wonder why auntie and so don't sleep in the same room and don't do certain things. It's because this stuff just didn't happen overnight.
Yeah,
It
it's
didn't.
true. But we don't live how we used to live. Like back in the day, this would have been something that was more not tolerated,
Yeah, because
but
the bills need to be a provide. Well, one thing I can say about men back then, they actually provided. Women are doing a whole lot more than the men are now in this day and time. I'm just
That
gonna be
part.
honest. Like
Part.
for real, T no, there ain't no shade. It's real facts.
yeah.
Women are doing it, and through
True.
the test of time, women had to have put on some britches and make some stuff happen because the men ain't doing it. And I'm not trying to man bash or anything, but I'm just proving facts.
I think that you actually would be amazing if you did start your own support group, whatever that looks like, whether if it is on maybe like TikTok is the platform or even like something to really get your story more and more. And this is what the podcast is. That's what we're here for, to get more stories out, but really talking to people about their experiences because this is what helps other people. It's not
Yes,
we can learn from other people. It's a matter of supporting each other, listening and learning. And
yes,
I think it's a powerful thing to share your experience because when you share your experience, you take your power back.
bingo.
You take it back. Even it's helping other people, but you take that power back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Look at you, girl. I love that. I love that you shared the experience and I know it's hard to talk about that and then really embracing the fact that you're going to share it and knowing that this is going to help someone else bring their story forth. Like that is,
Mhm.
it's a real powerful thing. And
To me, knowing that that's gonna help somebody,
Yeah.
I'll scream it on a loudspeaker. And I don't care about the gossiping people. Like I said, there's some people that talk trash and say, "Oh, she wasn't abused." That's hearsay. She say she has her story. He has his
I hate
story.
that.
Well, I
I hate that.
actually have the letter that he wrote confessing that, because there's a whole. I have receipts. Let's put it like that to prove. Not saying that I need to show proof, but like I said, people talk. And
Yeah.
people say, "Oh, she wasn't abused." That's her say, because they want to take his side. And I don't ever want people to think, "Oh, take his side, my side." But there is a truth in there. And one thing he doesn't do is hold himself accountable and acknowledge where he did wrong. That was wrong. Point blank, period. That was wrong. And he knows it.
But
He'll never admit it.
they're also really good, and I say they, I mean the narcissists, they're really good at
Hmm.
painting a picture of other people that makes them look like they're in the right, so they will
But there's
paint a
one important thing, especially when you're in a small town. People take notes.
mm,
People watch. And I'm not the first woman, and I'm not the last, but I was a good woman. And I lasted a long time. And my character speaks for itself. If you keep moving around with multiple women, eventually your stuff is going to be in a small town. Unless you keep moving to town, eventually your gig is up. And especially with Father Time, the older you get, the less people going to be wanting to. Narcissists never age well. They don't
mm.
age well. They suffer with health problems a lot, and eventually they'll be alone because they're so evil. Nobody wants to be around them, not even their kids. Eventually,
So how, oh, that must be difficult because it sounds like you're still parenting, your children of the heart. So how is that kind
they're
of hard?
grown.
Oh,
They're
they're grown.
grown.
Okay.
The kids that I help
Okay.
raise, they're grown. I got grandkids, and they
Um,
fine. Okay, no, they're grown. I don't
okay.
have to co-parent shit.
Okay. Okay. I'm like, oh my
I'm
gosh.
done.
I'm like, oh,
God's grace, that it do. No,
okay.
I don't
Thank
have to do
goodness.
none of that with him. Like it was a clean slate. When when
Okay.
when I decided to finally say enough was enough, it was the perfect time because there was nothing holding us back, nothing holding anything to where I would have to mingle with him anymore. Hence that little voice that said, "Get everything you need to say out now because you will not have an opportunity. He won't ever come back." That's what that voice told me.
Has he ever tried?
Well, he tried one time before he actually knew that there was a PFA on him. And he sat in the back of my house for 4 hours with his.
What?
We have an open carry state, so he always open carried. But the simple fact that he sat out back of my house after I kicked him out for 4 hours, yeah, that was a little cray cray. Yeah,
I,
but I mean, and then the cray part was the cops took 4 hours to get there.
come on, really? Like, what if it was? Oh my gosh.
And that's when they served him, and that's when he actually knew that there was a PFA, an emergency PFA in order.
So hold up. I want to understand this correctly.
Okay.
You had already had the protective order.
I had to get in, like, after I kicked him out of the house, September 23rd, I kicked him out, and then I got into my support person through Child Inc. And then after that, she was suggesting about getting the PFA. So we had to go to court and get the emergency PFA. They approved that. He wasn't served yet. And that's when he decided to show up to my house. So what other better way for him to be served? Hey, cops, come give him these papers.
I was thinking in my mind, I was like, I literally got a little angry because I was like, hey, yo, this lady has a whole protective order and it takes y'all 4 hours.
4 hours.
Even if even if you didn't have one,
Mm-hmm.
for them to take 4 hours
Mm-hmm.
to
It
get
took them
there
4 hours.
for some resolve, like anything could have happened. Like me being in law enforcement, a lot can happen in a matter of seconds, let alone 4 hours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I used to be in law enforcement, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying in general, like that's a really long time to be in your home, knowing what that person's capability is and not knowing,
There you go.
right?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have some knowledge, but you don't know how far they're gonna take it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so that had to be really terrifying.
It was.
Um, yeah, that's horrible. That's
Yep.
that's a whole nother conversation.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to police responses,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to us. But that's another conversation.
I got you.
I'm just
Mhm.
um so I guess that's why I apologize if I'm kind of jumping around. It's my ADHD that I have that I deal with. Anyway, nonetheless, um so earlier you was talking about um is it like a victim's advocate? Is that what y'all call them up north? Cuz like in the south or down here we call them like victims advocates. But you called them a support um the person that told you to share your story, the person that was
Oh
helping you
yeah,
through the process.
my support person. She's like a support coach, domestic violence support person.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
That's what I was trying to find out. So, what does that entail exactly? Because it's not, excuse me, it's not a support group. So, is that somebody like that the courts appoint?
No, girl,
No.
that was divinely orchestrated too because I dialed, like a helpline 211. I had called 211 and asking for some help or counseling for domestic violence. And I got the number to Child Inc. I called them and I got hooked up with my support person, and we've been together for 3 years. And I'm glad you mentioned her because she's getting honored. She's getting an award October 9th, and I think she deserves it because when I say this is by far the best, I she's better than any counselor I've ever had, any therapist, any like when you say support person, this woman calls me when she's not on the clock. She'll call me on the weekend to check on me. That's how much she cares. And I know she cares because she's calling at times where it ain't got nothing to do with work. And she said, Brandy, did you eat? I'm getting you some groceries. Brandy, what you doing? I did it because she's from Chile. I love her. I love her. I love her. And they actually paid for my ticket so that I can be a witness to her getting her award on October 9th. So I'm really happy about that. I'll try to make sure I take some pictures and stuff for my TikTok. But yeah,
Oh,
this
that's
is a big thing for
amazing.
me.
It
This
feels
this
really big. And I'm happy that you get
this
this opportunity to support her because, I can't imagine there's very few people out there who are so dedicated.
tell me, I've had counselors that I've heard talk about me and my situation or my trauma to another counselor, and I'm sitting in the waiting room. Yeah, that's a whole nother story in itself. But yeah, that's why I didn't really have trust for it. But something said you might want to get some counseling. You definitely gonna need somebody to help you through this. And I'm glad that I got her because she
Yeah.
got me the PFA. She got me like they helped me with my rent. They helped me my first full year in my house. They helped me that first full year. And I got away from them. And I'm still away from them.
I don't think people realize how, you know, and when you're in a domestic violence situation, how traumatizing it can be to have to start over, coming
Yeah.
out of this thing I call it, I'm saying a thing, but it's bigger. It's a really big thing. Like having to start over out of that. Like support is
Mhm.
really needed. And the
Yeah.
fact that Delaware has like, and things are changing, but the fact that they
I'm
have this
thankful that they do,
opportunity
because I
is
don't mean no
beautiful.
harm. So-called family, so-called friends ain't helped me worth nothing. It's a very few people that actually helped me, actually looked out. I'm still completely like to myself. I don't really want to fool with many people. I remember you asked me earlier, I don't like people after being with a narcissist. I have a certain maximum time to deal with people and then I'm done. I don't feel like the the energy, the every because you can tell who's an energy vampire, you can tell who's a narcissist, you can tell. And after a certain time of day, I just want to be to myself. I want to be able to keep calm and keep my energy at a certain level. I'm tired of these low vibrational people and all this extra. Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, after a narcissist, you just don't want to deal with people much anymore. It's not that you don't like people, it's just that I'm not.
Did you ever get to a point where, because it's traumatizing, it's painful, but
Mhm.
what was your moment when you said to yourself, you know what, I'm gonna be okay?
Um, when did I get to that moment? About a year ago when I got my car. When I finally got my car, because it was a struggle to try to do that. Like I said, he tried to make sure I wasn't gonna survive nothing. But it took a while. Last year I got my car and I said, man, I got my car. Okay. All right, I think I'm doing things. I'm good. And I managed to keep it for a whole year. So I know I'm doing good. Like I'm flexing. I managed to keep my weight down. I've been staying consistent on my exercising, staying fit. Yeah.
I saw your video when you was going out for a night in the town with your cute
Oh,
little cowboy hat and your. I was
oh,
like,
I
oh,
was
have some
performing that night.
fun.
I actually performed that night.
You were okay. So wait,
Yes.
can I ask? So you're a musician? Like, is it you play a certain
Yes.
instrument or you sing?
Yes. I'm a percussionist, but one of my main instruments that I play is an African instrument called the shekere. It's a
Oh,
board and it has
okay.
beads around it. They call me the Queen of Shake in this town, yeah, because I set the stage on fire. I ain't gonna lie, I set it on fire.
The Queen of Shake is in the building, taking her
That's
power
right.
back. Do you find that it affected like so many aspects of your life, even down to like how you performed with your music?
Let me be frank. The only way it affected me is that the funky ass, half ass, excuse my French, fake ass musicians in this small ass crab in a barrel town want to act like they too good to even look out for a sister and give her a gig. Want to have his old fathead rapist ass out playing around with his new supply, doing whatever. I don't give a shit. But it's just jacked up how the crabs in the barrel in this little ass town don't want to look out for a sister and give her a gig or two or something, knowing that I like to play, knowing that I'm bad. But it's okay. I digress.
You
What
know
was the
what?
next
She's
question?
like, knowing I am bad.
I have to say it because
That's
I've been
that
biting
tea.
my tongue for too long. A lot of these shady ass
Yeah.
people in this small ass town, I'm sick of them.
Mm.
Smile in your face, talk all this trash, but sit up there clowning with him. If they knew that fool was with me all these damn years, you want to stand up on stage next to her? Because that's what he is.
Mm.
So, so if you don't mind me asking,
Mm-hmm.
what what keeps you what keeps you there? Like, I know you say you're like in a small town. Is
Mm-hmm.
there something specific that that keeps you in
Honestly,
that
it's nothing
area? Like
technically. I mean,
family?
honestly, it's nothing really holding me. I just make money My job is here. If I could find another job in a home somewhere else, I gladly leave. If somebody called me today and say, "Listen, I got this job and I got this place," I'm out. There's nothing holding me here. Nothing.
Do you feel that? So I know T had asked you earlier. Did you feel like what happened to you affected your music, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you? And you said not really, other than them not wanting to give you work.
Yeah, because I gotta go out of. I haven't gotten since I stopped being with him. I haven't had technically a gig in Delaware. Every gig that I've had has been in Philly, Maryland, or Pennsylvania. Like Philly, Maryland, Pennsylvania. Yeah, this quote unquote hometown of mine don't give a shit about me.
Was he, do you think, or do you suspect he was trying to block some of that? Or was it?
Most definitely, because I know he's talking trash about me.
Mm.
Only from what certain. Let me just stop. I'm not gonna keep giving him power or that power.
Okay, sorry.
I don't care. It's like but I'm just saying it is what it is. I don't get love in this town. It's cliquish. It's crabs in a barrel. These people down here, man. Once you leave and be big, then everybody want. What's that guy say? Now I'm hot down on whatever that saying is. I was hot. Now don't want me now. I'm hot, y'all all on me. Whatever. Like, listen. Yeah, when people from Delaware leave and become big, now everybody want to claim them. But when they down here trying to get on, half of them be stomping on them, be hating on them, don't want to give, don't want to put them on, don't want to do nothing. But now that somebody leave out here and get on something big, oh, I know, Brandy. Oh, I know. No, the hell you don't. No, you don't. My phone is dry. Don't nobody call my phone.
So if you could, because how old were you when y'all reconnected?
When we reconnected, I was 24 going on 25.
Okay, so if you at your age now, I'm not gonna ask your age because I don't want
I
nobody to
just
ask
turned
my age.
45. I ain't scared. My birthday was September 7th. I just turned 45. I'm proud of that.
Okay, all right, that's what's
Mm-hmm.
up.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter had a birthday this month, September. Okay,
Okay, right
all
now.
right, all right. So if you could tell your 24, 25-year-old self something in regards to that relationship or just in general, what would you tell that version of yourself today, knowing what you know now, with your growth, with all of the things that you have unfortunately seen and fortunately seen? You know what I'm trying to say? Because it's two sides. Like you said earlier, you know why these things have happened because you are supposed to share that story. So I'm not going to take from you when it comes to that. And I'm definitely, like you said, not going to give him that much credit for the things, for the harm that he has done, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what would you tell yourself if you could go? What would you tell that 24, 25-year-old? What is the best piece of advice you would give yourself, knowing all of these things now?
I say, Molly, you in danger, girl.
Right.
Buckle up, baby. You gonna make
I
it,
am
but
too
it's a
finished. Girl,
bumpy
why just you said flames the other day? Girl, that is my movie. I love that lady right there. Okay. Girl. That was good. Do you think you would have been receptive? Like, do you think if anybody would have told you, Molly girl, you in danger, would you have really took it to heart? Would you have done anything different? You feel like if you would have been warned?
No,
Mm.
because that little girl so desperately wanted that moment with that motherfucker so bad. She was yearning to hear that. That's what that little girl wanted to hear. That fairy tale ending, that little girl in me needed to marry this sorry son of a bitch to go through this hell. But I had to do it. I had to.
Does a part of you feel like, because as I listened to you talk, right, and you said your very first encounter with him, he showed you kind of who he was, right? Do you feel that's what fed your desire? Is because it started off with him saying these horrible things, and now he's saying, I was young, I was dumb, the love bombing, whatever, that's what they, they call it, right? So do you think that's what fed into that desire of really wanting him to be
The magical man in my dreams?
Yes. Do you think that
Yes.
played a part into that?
Yes, I think so. Because I was,
Okay.
when I say I was heartbroken, that was my very first heartbreak as a kid.
Mm.
And I thought, like, I really hated him for that time. It took him some time before he could woo me again. But for him to do that and then do that, I want to kill this motherfucker now. Like, come on now. But I had to go through that. Because, like I said, that little girl, mind you, I'm still healing this little girl. She's got a lot of hurt that needs to be taken care of. We know we ain't going back to that. We know what that is. We know. But no, that little girl would have still wanted that. I if I tried to tell myself at 20, nope. Because in my mind, when he came back around and said all that stuff to me, that was it. I was like, oh, this is a fairy tale. I knew it was gonna have this happy ending. I knew it. Not.
Thank you for joining Ours Now podcast for this 3-part series called Signs You're with a Narcissist, What Are the Signs, and A Survivor Speaks, with special guest B. Love.
Let's talk about it with us right now. Maybe tears or laughs out loud. Let's make a difference as we speak through conversation for our future and future generations. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about